We have some benchmarks as well as some extra news for Operation Spectre Rising coming up tomorrow for Black Ops 4. Some cool stuff is going on here. So let's just jump into the benchmarking really quick. So we did 3 different settings. We did low, we also did high, as well as some Shroud settings if you're into watching Twitch and some pretty pros playing. So we'll go over all those, but first up real quick, we have the settings 9900K as well as all your other settings up here, and we're going to test these 3 different modes. And we got some recorded gameplay with an Elgato capture card, so we're going to see some video footage as well as a bunch of different PC performance numbers going on here. But basically we're going to just go back to this a little bit here and there, but we have some actual charts. So we did some actual benchmarking with the afterburner recording. So they're about 20-second. We actually did actual fights throughout the match, so we did 20-second second benchmarks. So first up, in the low settings, we turned everything down to low except the objective view distance. We kept that at high. So everything else was pretty much default. So we saw here for the first fight, we saw about a 209 FPS average in the dark blue, and then 136 1% lows. So it dipped down below that 144 mark, but you probably wouldn't have ever noticed that. And then 177, and then another fight a little bit more intense potentially, and then 129% low. So definitely above 144. If you got a 144 hertz panel, you're good to go on low settings. That's what most people are going with in first-person shooters and everything. So we also in high settings up. Let's check out some actual video footage of low really quick. So here's the first fight. We do some actual shooting and everything, and then our little buddy needs to get a res. So we run up there real quick and we get the res off. We're seeing around the GTX 1660 Ti is clocked between about 2010 and 2040. All the cards we test are overclocked. So there's pretty good numbers there, 74 degrees Celsius, and then about the 200 some FPS roughly in that first little bit, 230, 208, 209. So pretty good numbers there. And then in the second fight, we're a little bit more long range, a little bit more open, about the similar area in the ruins section. And we're getting a little bit lower, 176, some shooting, the zones coming in on us, and a lot more fighting and multiplayer action going on. So then we jump over to high settings, which we average the 2 numbers together, 193 for low, 135 for high. So about a 30% drop in FPS from going to high FPS. So the first fight we get about 124 FPS, 94 1% lows, and then we get up to 146 FPS. So that is pretty good, 135 in the middle, and we'll get some good footage of this going on at about 47 mark. So we did 2 clips for each. So this is about 47 seconds. We get the next 2 clips for high settings. We get some action over by the docks. So a pretty good fast-paced action, zones coming in. About 126 FPS, shooting through a tree, killing some people, slaying some people. That's pretty good stuff. And then the second fight, we also get some more fighting. Our buddies are going down. A lot more action going on there. And where's the chart? There's the chart. And then we do Shroud settings. So Shroud settings, he actually raises the field of view to 113. It's set at 90 on default for most games. And then the video settings, a lot of stuff is turned to low. Some of the shadow effects are turned off. Dynamics are all the way to all, as well as medium AA, and what was another number they changed? I think view distance was also on high, and then some model quality medium, some textures high, some different settings changed, turned off. So we get to see with that about a 15% increase over high, which is about 155 FPS. We got 2 similar fights going on here, and we get to see that at about 137 the next 2 clips. And we're fighting on a roof a little bit further up from docks in the map, if you know where that is. So 146 FPS going on, it looks like, and we're shooting some people. We're on top of a roof, getting some good advantage, and I think we kill someone here, a couple people, maybe 3, but we get some more fighting and everything going on, and some pretty good action. So Call of Duty Black Ops 4, the Battle Royale, Blackout mode, the Alcatraz map is getting about 144 FPS or more, depending on what settings you go with. Definitely go with Shroud settings or lower if you have a 1660 Ti and you're shooting for the best possible FPS if you're into some more competitive gameplay. And So that was all pretty good. We'll be testing the RTX 2060, the normal 1660, and the 1060 in another video potentially tomorrow. And we'll get some good FPS numbers from that. We'll probably just do low settings for that. But otherwise, the map, the new Alcatraz map, was a lot of fun. There's respawns on the map. It's only 40 players. It's a smaller map, so it's a lot more condensed. The storm comes in compared to some of the other 100-man battle royales where the maps are usually a little bit bigger. So that was pretty action-packed. It was a free trial for the whole month of April, so there was a lot of people at the beginning. The last week or so is when we tested, so the last week of April, and in the mornings the population was actually, the games wouldn't launch. So after the free trial ends, which is tomorrow, then the population could be a little bit dim, especially in the morning. So we'll have to see if they add another trial or they make it the Battle Royale mode a lot cheaper so more people can actually play and get games going. But there is some other battle news going on with Blackout. So let's talk about some of that. That is Operations Spectre Rising, and this is coming, it begins April 30th, first on PS4 and then a week later for the other platforms. So a lot of cool stuff going on with this. We got a little card going on and a little 3-minute trailer they just released today as well. So new content, so the new Specialist, the Spectre, is coming, as well as a new Blackout update. So what works, it's getting some changes and everything. So we'll get some new items as well as new Blackout modes, map updates, new weapons, and more. So a lot of stuff going on in the days of summer. So for the launch week, multiplayer is getting, again, the Spectre Specialist, new weapons, prop hunt, league play update, gameplay tuning update, and then in the season we're going to see Capture the Flag, bare bones mode, additional new modes as well. Blackout is getting its own map update for what works. Bounty Hunter, Alcatraz map improvements, so that was the map we were just testing. Maybe the FPS is increased, or maybe they're just changing some things going on. And then new characters, new equipment. And then in the season, Ground War, which they mentioned, which was a comment, I wasn't too sure, but it looked like a 50v50, no friendly fire as well. It was mentioned in a live stream, so that could be pretty good for some Battle Royale, some Blackout modes. Not quite last man standing with that one, but new weapons, new equipment, and some zombies are getting some content stuff going on as well. And then the new Black Ops Pass content, some Blackout characters, multiplayer maps if you have the season pass. So you'll get a bunch of different bonuses from that. So a lot of cool stuff. Again, first on PS4. I think they rotate it, but PS4 I think also got the Black Ops, the Alcatraz map first too as well. So dang you PS4 players. But a lot of Call of Duty action going on for today's episode with news and everything going on. So pretty good there. And again, we'll have another second part 2 with more graphics cards tested. If you want to check out some different, if you have a different graphics card or you're thinking about getting a different card. So a lot of good stuff going on there. We got Mark saying hi and Lulu with some thumbs up. You like some Call of Duty action apparently. A lot of good stuff going on. So with that, for today's episode a little bit later, Benchmarking Takes Longer, we'll be signing out and have another episode tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific with some more tech and game news. So we will be signing out. Pew, 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 pew.